Hey, how's it going? So we're gonna be doing the simple text, I think, right? Yeah, it's called simple text. This one here. Now, this one is very, very easy. Like probably, honestly, for intermediate, that's very, very easy. Okay. So the first tip is input. If you want to split, actually, I'll just do it. I don't even probably need to explain it because it's so easy, right? The idea is you need to create before you change the string into anything, create a buffer, an array buffer that will hold the previous state of the string before the transformation. Very, very important, before the transformation, because if you do it after, it's not going to work, right? So the first thing is, if you want to get this like I'll show you, right? If you want to get the array, let me just reset this, right? So if you just console log input, it's gonna give you mumbo jumbo, right? It will give you just mumbo jumbo. So you want to get this as an array. So the first thing you do is input dot split and split it by new line character. New line character, okay? This is how you get the array to pop out of this thing. You see, now it's an array. So we can copy it and we can stick it into here. What I do next is I normally splice at 0 because I want to get rid of this 8, because 8 and 7 just represents how many numbers are in here, right? So let's do, well, let's do the one in the, let's do this one, or yeah, because that's the one in the example, right? Okay, so let input let I call it final, okay? Final string equals to, and the starting point I think is A, B, C, D. We're basically going to replicate the steps in here. So I'll show you the logic behind it, right? So that's what we're going to be doing, right? And then you need to create let. You can call it storage or buffer or state. Just call it buffer. I'll just call it buffer, okay? So now for variable I equals 0, we're going to create an I loop. I smaller than input.length and I. Now you can do a for each loop, but I prefer for loops because you can control each stage. So you see, like input length is going to be the full thing, but we're going to go with 1 for now because we want to do it step by step. So end of for loop I, right? Whoops, like this, okay. So the first thing we want to do, we want to create probably an element, right? So for let element equals input I, right? So that's going to be our element, right? Why is it complaining? Okay, at the end we probably want to console log final string, and we probably want to console log buffer. All right, so, oh, whoops, not input, final string I. No, it should be input. Should be input. Oh, I++. Yeah, that's where mistake is. Okay. So that's our loop. Okay, good. Okay, so this is our first iteration, right? We're just gonna do it in steps, right? So okay, so if element.length is bigger than 1, we're gonna do one thing. else we're gonna do a different thing, right? Else console log undo, I think, because like if it's because think about it this way, right? Every single one of them has length of 2 except for the undo operation, right? So when it becomes the undo, we do this, right? Else we do this, right? Okay, so we need to get 2 elements. So let operation equal to element dot split by space, and it's going to be the first element, right? It's going to be 0. So we see this one here. We're getting the first element, right? 1 out of it, right? Then we want to get the item, which is like, could be FG, could be 6, could be 5, whatever they want, right? So let item equals element dot split by, again, by space. We want to get the second element in that array. So console log it. Okay. So now we have both the operation that they want us to do. It could be 1, 2, 3, and the item, right? So remember that there are 4 operations, right? So if it's operation 1, we want to append to the string. If it's 2, we want to delete X amount of characters from the string. 3 is going to be just print, and 4 undo previous operation, right? So remember, 4 can only undo 1 or 2, right? So it's either delete or append. It cannot do print, right? So you have to remember that it cannot do print, because immediately what your first reaction is going to be, oh, just take find all 4s and delete this out of the array. Then you kind of handle 4 by itself, and now all you have to do is just go through array and do 1, 2, 3, and you're done. But that's not gonna work. I already tried that, because if previous operation of 4 was 3, you are not doing it correctly, right? Okay, so now if ops equals to 1, now the first thing you do before you convert your string into anything, you want to store it in the buffer, right? So we do buffer dot push final string. Okay, before you do any conversions, you have to store it. Now we do the conversion, right? So final string equals to final string plus item, right? So you see now on the first operation, right, they want us to append FG to the string. So your string should look like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So that's exactly what we did. If you look at our string, this is our final string, this is what it looks like, and this is the buffer that holds the previous string. So if we want to undo the operation, we can just pop from the buffer and it's done. Okay, so if ops equals to, whoops, again, this is something that we're going to transfer. We're going to transform our string, so put it into the buffer, right? And what do they want us to do? So if it's a 2, I think we want to delete k characters of the string. So this we can do a slice, I suppose. Let test equals to final string dot slice 0 to item, I think, right? Because remember, on operation item is gonna be, so if it's what, if it's 2, so they want us to delete three last characters from the item, oh, from the string. Okay, so in this case, item is going to be this. Now you can name item anything you want. Like honestly, like I just call it item. You can call it whatever you want, right? It's going to be this number here, which tells us. So 2 is the operation that tells us what they want us to do. If it's 2, we want to basically remove final characters from the string, and this is how many characters they want us to remove. So it's going to be 3. So let's look at test. And this was what? So this is operation number 3. 1, 2. Okay, so this goes up to 2. So we need to okay. Oh, whoops, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, so they want us to delete 5 characters, right? So this should be A, B, C, D, E, right? So this should be, so this should turn into A, B, C, basic. A, B, it should be A, B, right? So we want to slice, item is 5, right? Oh, my apologies, my apologies. So we do this. This is my mistake. So it's gonna be final string dot length minus item, right? Yeah. So because we're taking the full length and we're minusing how many elements do they want us to remove, and this will slice it and do the create the string, right? So that's our test complete. Now we want to have minimum operations. So the you see, once you get into intermediate algorithms, you have to factor in that not only do you have to do the test, you also have to do it in minimum operations, right? Because some of the tests are going to fail because the code is too long. All right, so that's our 2 done. And then finally, if ops equals to 3. Now this one is just console log. We don't need to store anything in here, right? We just need to console log a character, I think, right? So they want us to console log if character. Okay, so we can go to, we can alter our for loop to go to only 2 because they want us to display, so it's 3. They want us to display 6th character. Honestly, I think you can just console log final string item like this, I think, right? Item minus 1, I think, right? F. Yeah. There you go. That's it. Okay, so if we run through everything, no, we need to do one more condition. Okay, so final condition is if it's 4, i.e. it's smaller, it's the length is less than 1. Well, the length is 1, right? The length is 1. So we are going to be in here. You can do an if condition saying that if the length is 1, do that, but we can just use else in here, right? And the way to do that is we're going to use pop to take the string from the array, and we're going to remove it from the array using pop. And then final, so our string, final string, is going to become whatever you removed from the array. So just learn how that pop works. Very nice tool. So final string equals buffer.pop, like that. And that's it. And this is how it works. Okay, so let's go side by side comparison. So that's our code pretty much. I wonder if this is going to... Okay, so let's probably remove this. We don't need this. Okay. So let's go step by step, right? So Whoops, yeah. Okay, so in operation number 1, our string should look like this, right? And our buffer has the previous string in it. Operation number 2, we want to delete last 5 characters, right? So our string should look like AB now, right? Maybe it's operation number 3. Oh yeah, we just printed something. Yeah. Yeah, because on 1 we're printing. Yeah, okay, so this should be 3 now. Now in here, index should be +1. So now we want to delete, so this should be 3. I should be 3 now, right? Huh. There is a mistake somewhere, right? Or is there? Okay, so at 4, it's probably at 4 then, right? No, there's a mistake. Yeah, I think it's in here. I think it's in here. Oh, yeah. I just wrote it as a final. It should be final string. My apologies. Yeah. So final string should be this, right? Actually, let's just call it, let's just do test is equal to test. Huh. Okay, so it's operation number 3. Honestly, this should work. This should work. I don't need to do it this way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's go through the beginning again. Okay, at 1, our string is A, B, C, D, E, all right? At 0, right? At 0, A, B, C, D, E. At 1, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. At 2, it's still A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now we're looking at this thing here and seeing the transformation, right? At 3, it should be A, B, right? At 4, it should be A, B, C, D, F, G. Yes. At 5, it's still A, B, C, D, F, G. And at 6, it should be A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, so you see, all of that is correct. And then finally at 7, we want to print F, G, D. We want to print this. So at 7, there you go. At 8, there is nothing. At 9, there is nothing. Okay. So now we just change. So that's your code now. That's your code. So input that length. And then that's it. I think that's about it. So now we have to get rid of console logs and only leave one console log, which is, we don't even need this part here anymore. Yeah, we only need this console log to be printed. And that's it, that's the code, basically. All right, so there's one more trick is when you're submitting, you have to split the array, right? So your starting item, your starting code should be input equals input dot split by new line character. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Now you can optionally kind of do this as well. Input dot splice 0, 1 to get rid of the first element, but I mean that's completely optional. I just did it for myself so I just like to kind of keep things clean. I don't know, it's just my thing. Okay, so let's just put in the code. See if it works. Compilation error. Where is the code error? Input split. Maybe you actually need this thing in it. Oh, I forgot to include the bracket. That's why it failed. I'm missing an element somewhere. Oh, yeah. Wait, I think it's this. Wrong answer. Why is it like that? I think it's because of this. Could be because of this. No. I got CBA, but they want CYA. Okay. So the error somewhere is in. So this should be CIA, and we are getting CBA. Okay. So what is the problem? Okay. So we need to be getting CIA, but we're getting CBA. Okay, so what is the problem in here? Oh, yes. That's the mistake. Yeah. That's the mistake, yeah. Because when you're normally doing it, you must not have anything in the final string. That's why. That's the mistake, basically. Yeah, so now it should be CIA. Yeah. Oh, we have to get rid of console logs again. I did that the same mistake twice today. Because you see, like, in this one, you have to start with A, B, C, D, E, and this one, you must have an empty string. So that's just how it is, you know. This is how it is. Yeah, so we basically just have to remove this thing from here, and that's it, I think. I don't think you need to splice, honestly, do we? Let's see. It should work without it, honestly. Yeah, we need to splice, probably. Let's see. Yeah, so you have to splice. I wonder why that is. Yeah, so basically you have to splice. Because eyes, oh yeah, because the eyes are gonna be probably larger than the. Yeah, it's probably gonna run one extra time. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so ignore my comment in the beginning where I said splice is optional. It's actually mandatory. You just have to do it. Okay, so that's the solution. All right. Take care.